And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready.
On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Okay. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Stroud. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. So the completion good for just 3. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Johnson on the return. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at their own 22. From the gun, it's Lawrence. They'll check this down to Johnson. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, short tackle.
And this will be a Jaguars 1st down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. On 1st and 10, it's ETN. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, Jaguars. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together. They've got a chance of coming out with a W.
Stroud on third down now. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Pierce. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
The Texans had 0-3 here to begin the campaign, and you hate to have to say it this early in the season, but getting close to must-win time, is it not?
And I totally understand why you expressed it that way, because it's so early in the season, it feels like hyperbole. But I think you are spot on this one. Yes, there's still time to turn things around, but they've got to start to win right now if they have any hopes of trying to make the playoffs.
On second down, here's Pierce. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
Blue striker.
Pierce will try to pick it up. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Jamie Gillen now on to punt. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
He sets to fire deep. This is intercepted.
Derek Stingley picks it. And the Texans are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Stroud off the play fake.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jaguars will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And this will be a Jaguars first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They go play action with Lawrence.
Rolling to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lawrence buying time to his left. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give you a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try to get those yards a safer way.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Here's Lawrence.
And he comes back with one complete.
And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain.
They'll give him 4 yards there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now Stroud.
Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 44-yard line.
Okay, ready? Striker, 3-3. Ready?
First and 10, it's Pierce. And he'll get this forward only for about a yard, as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Ready.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
118 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. On second down, Etienne once more.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now Lawrence to throw.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got a key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
On the ready.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. To throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence dancing to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because that incompletion's on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because we prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Again, it's Lawrence. That's complete to Travis Etienne out of the backfield.
Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Patterson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Let's go now.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Ready.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Ultra. Go ultra. Ready.
Stroud to throw it. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Come on. Set.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Yellow. Zoom. Ready.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now a timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
White.
Play action. Stroud now.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked off by Andre Cisco. And the Jaguars will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with great starting field position and one timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards that time. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
On the set.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Straight ahead, ETN. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick.
So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. play clock down to 0. And this is not the way to start a drive.
Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
Now Lawrence.
Quick hitter here. It's complete.
Finding space at the 40.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Jaguars.
And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And the final number of the next-gen stats, that ball traveling a full 59 yards through the air. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
And they'll go play action here with Stroud.
Being chased out left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Texans. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And it's 17-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll try the left side with ETN. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. On 2nd down, ETN once more. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball-controlled football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 3rd down, Lawrence.
And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play out of it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
On the ball.
Play action. Here's Stroud.
And this one is incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Stroud sets up the play action.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Foyesade and Lurican.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, that offense trying to erase that deficit, get a little bit closer here, and climb back into this. Quarter instead, they further their disadvantage, Charles, with a pick 6.
And that defense came out willing to do anything necessary to defend that lead. I think they looked around the huddle and said, who's going to make the big play? Who's it going to be? And the person just ended up in the end zone with the football. He was the one that answered the bell.
Forced out to his left. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for two, and they did.
Oh, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that two-point attempt.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago and threw the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And I like where this offense is going. I like what they're thinking because they want to spread the wealth and move the ball around. And they decide to get the fullback involved in these pass patterns as well. Normally, 2-yard hitch or a little flare out of the backfield. But this time, they sent him downfield. He's able to make a big play.
Pierce now up the middle. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Both sides were holding their breath there on that fourth down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Again, he'll drop to throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Donovan Peoples-Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Texans are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball.
The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. On play action, Lawrence. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Here's Lawrence to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. Well, part of this defense now with multiple interceptions in this game, but this time they say turnabout is fair play because, remember, they had a pick six on the other side, and now they get a pick six of their own.
Yeah, they actually added to some of their nice play throughout this ball game. A good effort by them to secure another interception on this one. A better effort to take it all the way back for 6. And how about an exceptional effort to match their opposition's pick six from earlier in this game?
Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Their lead is hanging by a thread after that pick six, but look, they're still in the driver's seat. Now the question, how aggressive will they be on this drive? Time to find out. 146 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
On 2nd down, a run with ETN.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
They'll run with ETN.
He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
Going for it. Here's ETN.
And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cochran escaping the pressure right.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
On the very outer edge of field goal range, it would be 56 yards if they got nothing here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Cochran.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Andre Sisco. And the Jags are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Lawrence. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence.
Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked up by Tyree Gillespie. And the Texans are right back in this football game.
So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the 2nd half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Cochran. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
Brought down by Trayvon Walker on the pass rush.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Back to throw. Cochran. He's got a man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Looking left side, he's got it, complete.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Touchdown, Houston. Devin Singletary, his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Texans have taken a 4th-quarter lead.
Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Throwing now, Lawrence.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Back to throw, Lawrence.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow.
What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the 4th quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
The long drive last time out for this offense, Charles, if you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down.
He's got a man, complete. Now the Texans will burn the 1st of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to throw. He's got a man, complete. And he'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
He'll look to throw.
On a huge mistake late, it's intercepted. And the Jaguars have just about sewn up this football game.
Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone. I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious, so you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville.
Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed them.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk with. Taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense. And let's face it, when you give it away 3 times in one game, you make it very difficult for your team to get the W.
So for the Jags, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville.